Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Last night, we've made it to the Atlioscope, which is the next dungeon we need to do. So, heading into the Ethereal Sea to see what's going on there. So, let's dive on into it. Alright, we are live. And yes, it's supposed to unlock after the next quest, KJ. Now, I don't know why I ran up to here because I didn't need to. Click the thing, and then it says, you want to enter with a party of NPCs or a party of players? I said, party of players. It brings up the duty finder. I hit commence, and it says, you haven't selected a duty. I clicked the thing that said I wanted to enter with a party of players. Of course, it had the little elevator sound.
All seems in order with the lens, and I trust you can hear me.
Alright, this might be the first dungeon we have done since Realm Reborn where the item level sync is above our average item level. So.
Can't just pull everything.
Those things are pure malcontent. The residue of lives unfulfilled.
It's only a little bit, but we should be careful. This dungeon sinks you to 550. And while I assume everybody here is at least the same item level as I am, because KJ gave me my gear.
Yes.
I suppose it is possible that some of y'all might be higher than me.
I'm 5'4".
I've got a higher bow.
I'm 5'45".
Same.
Yeah,
I'm 550 because of that bow.
whatever.
What's that, Zor?
Peter.
I spent way too much on it. Back when I had the gill. I'm slowly refilling the coffers.
Yeah, me too.
I gotta put him on focus and I can...
Oh, we do get to be level 90 in here, though. So I can use the big spells I've never gotten to use in a dungeon before.
If you can remember, right?
Oh, it's part of my my DPS rotation. It's just normally I only get to push one button. Now I get to push 4.
Nice.
Below level 90, I do my Requiescat, and that lets me cast 4 spells with no cast time. So I can spam... Actually, it lets me cast 5 spells with no cast time. So I pop my AoE spell 4 times, and then I have a special spell that can only be cast when I'm under Requiescat, and it does a lot of damage, but it also ends Requiescat when you cast it. So normally that's what my magic attack rotation has been, is I Requiescat, Holy Circle 4 times, and then Confiatur. But at level 90, Confiatur becomes a combo attack that's 4 attacks long, so I can cast it 4 times in a row. If you notice the rain of swords happening, you know I'm using it. So hello, Ilberd.
Who is Ilbert?
Well, the Falcon, the Alamigo guy. They said we might run into people that are friendly or not.
Ah, good point. So, Louis Swan just killed them, I guess?
Yeah, the gold flamey thing, right?
Well, that was his staff that was floating in the golden flame.
Ah.
Alright. Aglia Bite is the tank buster. Frustration is a room-wide AoE. Odi et Amo is 2 circle AoEs spawn under 2 party members. Shortly thereafter, a stack marker will spawn on a party member, requiring the group to stack. Disparagement is a conal AoE cast in the direction of the stack marker target after the stack marker damage occurs, forcing the group to move out of the cone after the attack, or after the stack. Then Aglia Climb, the boss will spread its arms. 2 of the 4 arms will glow, and afterwards will attack in that direction. Each arm will attack a specific quadrant of the boss's hitbox: front left, front right, back left, back right. And the glowing arms will always directly opposite each other. So front left and back right, or vice versa. Standing in the quadrant of one of the 2 arms that is not glowing. Then Aglia Shot is 8 line AoEs will fire out from the boss to the cardinal and intercardinal points of the arena, giving a safe zone between each line. After reaching the edge of the platform, these crystals will pause for approximately 10 seconds, then fire back to the center. The telegraphs for the crystals returning to the center are extremely short. The second cast of this can occur during Aglia Climb, requiring players to dodge the arms while also paying attention to where the crystals are. So, basically this is a dodge the thing fight.
Got me.
Follow the flow of ether. It will guide you.
Pulse wasn't too bad.
The ether
No,
is
it was
too
good.
dense. Ah, I'm losing you.
Try and need it.
If it's an upgrade, go ahead.
Will not let me put it on.
Bag's full.
Oh no, now it did. I was just falling, I guess, is what it was.
Ah. We have another gold light here.
Oh, that's the Warrior of Darkness weapon, isn't it?
It said an Archon was taking form, so I would think probably Moonbrita.
Oh
But
yeah, okay.
I want to say she used an axe, but I can't really remember. And my chat says yes, it was Moonbrita.
Oh, okay.
And that would be Orshifral.
Yeah.
They did have to hit us with his brothers visiting his grave last night, didn't they?
Yeah. That is always just way too soon still.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's ever going to be over.
Well, y'all managed to scare me with that one a little bit. There was a circle I needed to get out of. I ran over here and hit a wall. I'm like, oh, this isn't good. And then the circle disappeared. Like, oh, this is gonna hurt. But it was because you guys killed the thing. So another one for you, KJ.
Yep. Sorry, guys.
Whoever you are, you seem to be dual-wielding shields. Okay, Anvil of Tartarus is at the Tank Buster. Tartarian Impact is a room-wide AoE. Tartarian Spark is a line AoE on a random player. Shrapnel Shell fires mortar shots into the air, spawning 2 targeting circles, which will move out from under the boss towards 2 of the 4 corners of the room, where they will then spawn a number of additional targeting markers around them, which will be hit by the mortar shots, roughly filling a quadrant of the room. Vexillatio marks the outer thirds of the arena with an AoE marker that will then summon walls, restricting movement to the center third. Players hit by this are knocked back a short distance and receive vulnerability up debuff. And Shield Skewer, the boss will begin absorbing ether from the 4 crystals along the newly summoned walls. Each with an ether meter to show how much it is being drained. When a crystal is fully drained, it will shatter. Once the boss finishes its cast, it will charge down the lane, dealing knockback, vulnerability up debuffs, and very high damage. Players must watch to see which crystal depletes first, then move into an open space until the boss finishes its attack to avoid the damage. And that is it.
Okay, I might get hit with stuff because I'm not sure I understood all of it.
Okay, that's fine. Mostly it looks like he's going to be firing some mortars that'll fill up a quadrant of the room, so we need to get out of that. We're going to summon walls that will block off a third of the outside of the arena. I didn't quite understand what that means, particularly since this is a square arena. If it was a circle, that would make more sense, but...
Yeah, that's the walls I'm not sure of.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure we can't miss it when it happens. Okay. So... But then we'll just need to pay attention to which crystal's going to break first and stay away from it.
Okay.
Over here.
Just saw it.
And I went to the wrong place.
This reminds me one, was it with dinosaurs or something? Or, I can't remember. There was another one where we had to do that.
And you very much can't miss that one either.
Yeah.
JJ.
I can't see. Where do you guys go?
Apparently it's not that we need to stay away from the one that breaks first. We need to go to the one that breaks first.
That's pretty good.
Yep, that wasn't bad at all.
Sacrificial dwarf.
I didn't have to
There you
res
go.
anybody.
What was the last one you got me?
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That one didn't seem to tell us who it was.
Mm-mm.
Oh. It's Minfilia.
Oh.
So bold, so headstrong, stubborn to the last. But this is as far as you go. Oblivion beckons!
I recognize that voice.
What's his name? The last guy. Yeah.
Ammon.
He's considerably bigger than he was last time we saw him. Alright. Dark Forte is the tank buster. Intricate is a room-wide AoE. Eruption Forte places 2 circle AoEs under random players, which explode after a short time. It is advisable to postpone the use of a limit break until after this move to prevent the immobilized party member from being sniped. Thunderaga Forte spawns a proximity-based AoE in the middle of the room, requiring players to run to the edges of the room. The room is then divided into 8 sections. Each section will be visually filling with lightning. 4 of them quickly and 4 of them slowly, alternating around the circle. Move into a section where the electricity is moving slowly, then move into one of the fast sections on either side once that section has exploded to dodge the slow explosion. Strophe summons 1 or more circular discs on the ground. Afterwards, Ammon will cast Antistrophe. Antistrophe, the boss raises the circular discs up on their edge. At the end of the cast, a column AoE will fire outward from both faces of the raised discs. The first cast is a single disc in the center, leaving a safe zone to either side. The second cast is 2 discs on either side of the platform. These discs can face parallel to each other, in which case the safe zone is at the edge of the arena on the other side. Between them is not safe. Or they can converge towards the north and south of the arena, leaving a safe zone on the edges of the arena on either side, as well as the large triangular safe zone from the middle of the room to the side they have not converged at. That one we're going to have to see to understand, I believe. Left and right Firaga Forte. The boss will cleave its entire left or right side with a fire AoE. Move to the opposite side of the arena to avoid. Keep in mind that this is the boss's left or right, not the player's. Since the boss is stationary at the north edge of and facing the arena, the direction specified in the cast can instead be thought of as the side that is safe from the player's perspective. And Curtain Call. During the long cast, 2 circular AoEs, similar to Eruption Forte, will spawn in succession. Shiva will then spawn a huge ice crystal in the middle of the room, which will with a damaged telegraph circle before it spawns. Don't be near it. That the player must hide behind to avoid the attack. Any player not behind the ice crystal will be instantly killed. From there, the mechanics repeat. So, aside from strophe and antistrophe, I think it's mostly just a stay out of the thing fight. We'll have to figure out what those two mean.
Okay.
Many faces have I worn, but this is my favorite by far. You will persist in this folly no longer.
Oh, shit.
The stage is set.
Alright, here comes the weird one. I think you want to be on either left or right side. Get to the left.
Let the curtains rise for the main attraction.
Be on the lookout for an ice crystal. Now get behind it.
My, what a boorish audience you are.
Okay, this is the lightning thing again. I will admit I have trouble telling which one is fast and which one is slow.
Just on the right side. And I'm down.
Which is lame because I had healed you.
I know.
Hey, here comes the weird one again.
Oh, they're at a dang.
I think get close to the boss. Well, nobody seems to have died, so wherever you stood was good. Get to the right side. Get to the left.
When do we want the, what you call it? Limit break.
Get to the right, and then pop him. Lightning thing again.
It's the white things that go across up from the middle up.
Alright, I'll have to see it again to know what you're looking at, what you're talking about, but I'll keep an eye out for that. Looks like the same as last time.
So
Hit the
far,
right.
just hiding on their edges works. I thought we were. Well,
Hit the left. Hit to the right.
Cool. That was a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Lies! All lies!
He looks like a Day of the Dead person.
Your dreams, your hopes, your futures, delusions and
Well, he is kind of a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
So on the electric thing, it has the like the lightning going across, but there's like a white wave that goes from the middle center out of each one, and every other one there's one that goes slower than the other.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So
Oh, be sure to check your inventory for whatever random thing you may have gotten at the end of the dungeon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
the ring.
My very essence begins to wane. Sweet,
Sweet agony.
Leave this to him.
Come to deal the coup de grace. Good. Watching you struggle against the inevitable is bad comedy. Erase me from existence, soul and all. How would you know that name? Then it was you. In Elpis. With Emet-Selch. The final pieces fall into place. In my halcyon days, as the mortal Ammon, I was haunted by a dream. Night after night, the faceless multitude, the voiceless cries, shards of shattered memories. But slowly, the fog began to clear. This was Elpis. And I was Hermes. Recurring though it was, I paid this dream little heed. It was only when I was granted the seat and memories of Fandaniel that I knew these visions to be true. They were the memories of Hermes that he himself erased using the power of Kairos. Or so he thought. In his attempt to burn away the events of that fateful day, he succeeded only in searing them more deeply into his soul. My soul. Death failed to expunge them. No matter how many times it came. Rebirth after rebirth, from one Fandaniel to the next. I wonder, is Emet-Selch adrift somewhere in this ethereal sea? In defeat, finally remembering your time together in Elpis? How it must gall him to be entrusted with knowledge of the final days, only to be rendered powerless to act upon it. So many lifetimes dedicated to restoring his beloved Amarok in blissful ignorance. Oh, folly. But make no mistake, my life as Hermes is not the reason I invited the world's end. I have lived. I have struggled. I have dredged the very depths of despair. And in the detritus of existence, I found the truth. I served a great ruler, powerful beyond measure. The world, his dominion. Yet even he and his vast empire were destined to fall, to become one with oblivion. At the end of life's journey lies only death. So I ask you, why live at all? We betray, we torment, we murder. We are wicked, spiteful creatures, without exception. If life is so sacred, So precious. Why fill it with such misery? Man wallows in a hell of his own making without purpose or meaning. To live is to suffer, and I would end that suffering by my own hand. It matters not if it flies in the face of all believed right and just. Death is the only solution! That is my truth. My answer to the question. And yet, even as the words pass my lips, I am filled with doubt. Has my search reached its end? Was this the only way? After all these years. Is this the answer I was hoping for?
The lamentations of the damned. How it vexes me to see your conviction falter at the last. Van, still clinging to existence, I see. You, who champion death so fervently, unwilling to accept your own, refusing to be purified and swept into the sea of souls. As do I. We prisoners to men, watching as the world turns. Though unlike me, you will be spared the ignominy of having your corpse made a puppet, dancing to another's tune.
Is that Arsahi?
How very astute. But let me be clear. I have not come to consort with the likes of you. Nor have I come to bemoan the state of the world following my untimely demise. In fact, I delight in mankind's downfall and the anguish it brings the savior of the savages. If I played some small part in the chaos, all the better. Not that I was in any position to resist. But to be made accomplice to the betrayal of Lord Xenos. I would die 1,000 deaths to exact my vengeance. Now you are at my mercy. I shall drag us both into oblivion, and you will never see the fulfillment of your magnum opus. Even should you be reborn, your desperate search for answers must start again.
Even here, even now, you have every right to hate me. For the fool I was, for the monster I became, but I will not beg forgiveness. The tale of Hermes, the man who knew so much, yet understood so little, ends here.
Don't try to follow me. I had more of you people than I could stomach in life. Never mind in death.
Likewise. I pray we do not meet again. You had better hope not. Come. Hydaelyn is waiting.
Brave travelers, I welcome you. I see. Thou didst journey unto Elpis. And now, the rivers of time converge. I know why you have come. Yet I would hear you speak your reasons all the same.
You created the moon to deliver mankind from the final days. But is that really how it has to end? We do not wish to abandon this world. We want to protect the source and all of its shards.
To flee is but one of two paths. The other leadeth to Meteon, far beyond the stars, where she doth chant creation's requiem. Her domain is formed of dynamis, pure, absolute. Where emotion and memory govern all, ether will avail you naught. Meteon hath gathered the pain and despair of countless stars, and to go unprepared is to go unto your doom.
We'll beat her. We'll win. I swear it. Is what I might have said, once. After everything I've seen, all the times I've succumbed to my own anger and fear. I can no longer pretend that courage and faith will be enough. But are we truly so powerless? That our only choice is to flee?
Far from it, my child. Long ago, the inhabitants of myriad stars, many more prosperous than Atheris, sought to free their worlds from life's woes. Sorrow and anger, conflict and hostility, despair, and even death itself. But as Meteon reported, every attempt ended in failure. Darkness abideth within every living being, and can never be cast out. Neither reason nor faith can challenge this immutable truth. To live is to suffer, and in suffering, find strength, and purpose, and hope. As you have done so many times before. Thou dost pursue an impossible dream, yet knowing this, you pursue it nevertheless. and thou hast learned to depend on others as they do thee. Thy yearning for the power to save the powerless hath ever driven thee to greater heights. Thou hast grown strong. Though those closest to thee no longer walketh by thy side, their love remaineth thy guiding light. For duty's sake, thou hast been bound by truths unutterable time and time again. Yet thy heart hath never wavered, as thy companions will attest. In thy pursuit of mysteries great, all thou believest is brought into question. Undaunted, thy thirst for knowledge remaineth unquenched. The fires of hatred that once burned in thy heart burneth no more. From their ashes doth spring the light of love, warm and pure. As witness to black calamity, thou despaired at man's helplessness. Resolved, thou didst unite a distant world on the brink of collapse. And thou, my champion, when all did seem lost, thou never abandoned hope. For every trial and every foe that did bar thy way, thou hast proven equal to the challenge, drawing courage from the many bonds forged on thy journey. You have all known despair, and though the end approacheth, you walk on, heads held high. Therein lieth your power, the strength to silence the song of oblivion.
Then there is a means to confront her.
Yes, if you should prove yourselves worthy. Hark! Nigh impossible is it to send mortals to the edge of the universe. Should you fail, there will be no second chance. As the will of the star, I ask of you this. Do you possess the fortitude to stand firm when all around you doth crumble? Do you possess the faith to vanquish despair itself? Should you lack the strength to best a supreme deity, I cannot allow you to make the journey. You must leave this star and never return. Prepare yourselves.
Prove ourselves worthy, eh? Sounds straightforward enough.
Of course, Estinian.
Aye. No room for confusion there.
In any case, we've come too far to back down now.
I am of the same mind. What power I have, I shall bring to bear.
The three of you seem to be forgetting who we're up against. It's not every day we battle a divine being of untold power. Well, not quite every day. Do try not to get underfoot. Needless to say, there'll be no margin for error.
Let us hold nothing back.
For the people of this world and those beyond the rift.
Alas, the question I posed to thee in Elpis hath remained unanswered these long years. I would hear thy response, warrior of light. Shouldst thou emerge victorious?
I believe we are instanced.
Mm-hmm.
We are.
Are we instanced, and are we supposed to take the people with us?
Well, that is actually a option. If you want, we can disband the party and run this trial with the 7 scions, or we can run it like a normal trial and run it through the duty finder.
I just say we do normal.
That's what I was thinking. I'll probably come back later and do it with the scions too, just for the lore, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. It looks like I'm instanced though.
Yes, we're all instanced, so. But that doesn't change. I can still queue us, so.
Okay.
But first, the mechanics. All right. Note, the outer edge of the arena will instantly kill any player that touches it. So, do not touch the outer edge of the arena.
What part's the? I mean, like, till the dark. The dark is the outer. Don't
Well, we're not actually in the fight yet, so it may not look exactly like what we're looking at here. But when we're in the fight, whatever the edge of the arena is, don't touch it.
Okay.
What was that, Emo?
I was just gonna say that I didn't think we were in there. Like
Gotcha.
we don't know for sure what it looks like.
Gotcha. My chat says you shouldn't be able to miss it. So. And so now, Hero's Radiance is a raid-wide AoE. Dawn Mantle. The boss will change her weapon and perform a mechanic corresponding to the weapon of her choice. She will take out Dancer's Chakrams, which will have a red icon. As a large donut AoE, stand inside her hitbox to avoid it. White Mage Staff, the green icon. A large circle AoE under her, move away to avoid this attack. Paladin Sword and Shield, blue icon. A plus-shaped AoE that always goes in the cardinal directions. Position yourself in between to avoid the attack. Musa's Scorn is the tank buster that must be shared between both tanks. Mitigate as needed. Magos Radiance, another raid-wide AoE. The fight will transition to an ad phase. The fight will transition to an ad phase, happens without a cast, but can be recognized by the voice line, "Crystals of light to me." Players will be sent to a rainbow-colored disc in a different arena with 6 crystals spawned around the disc. These crystals must be destroyed before the conviction bar reaches 100 or the party will wipe. Following mechanics are cast by untargetable ads on the outside during the ad phase. Eidolon's Ray is a proximity ray attack similar to something that we wouldn't recognize. So, a bright orange line will appear across the center of the platform, pulsing outwards. Stand close to the arena's edge, far from the bright line, to take as little damage as possible from this attack. Crystalline Stone 3 is a stack. Crystalline Blizzard 3 spread with AoEs so they don't overlap. Exodus is a huge raid-wide AoE that signals the end of the phase. Mitigate as necessary. Arena goes back to the original, and she resumes using the mechanics from the first phase, but with a few additional mechanics. Crystallize will either spawn AoE circles on each player on a stack, or will either spawn AoE circles on each player or a stack marker. The boss casts this, but the mechanics of it will not appear for a while, typically appearing during the next cast of Dawn Mantle and resolving shortly thereafter. Remember to dodge Dawn Mantle before spreading or stacking for Crystallize, depending on the marker. So, I think we'll have to see that one. I'm not sure if it's going to put a long stack marker on somebody, or it's telling you you will need to stack on this person in a bit and the marker goes away. So we'll need to pay attention to that.
A memory game. Oh, goody.
Perihelion shoots out 3 sets of chakrams in line AoEs originating from the boss. They will explode in the order they spawned, and there's a safe zone between each one. Sub-Perihelion will be cast immediately afterwards. Sub-Perihelion, the same chakrams placed by the Perihelion mechanic, will shoot out another set of line AoEs back through the center of the room, resulting in the entire room being covered by one of the 3 AoEs. Like Perihelion, they'll explode in the order the AoEs appeared, so stand next to, but not within, the first set that appeared, and then run into the space they occupied after they explode. Perihelic Circle spawns a green snowflake-shaped symbol on the ground, which will then spawn AoEs in the middle of the room at the tip of the lines, similar to the Raven's Claw attack in Cinder Drift, which I wouldn't be able to remember if I tried. Avoid standing in the middle of this symbol, and position yourself outside of the smaller lines, where there will be a safe zone. Hero Sundering is a tank buster in the shape of a cone. Other players who are not tanks should avoid standing with the tank. Yeah, a frontal cleave. Do not stand in it. Radiant Halo is a raid-wide AoE. Light Wave spawns 4 large waves of light on the edges of the arena that will slowly move across the room. The waves will be staggered, with two starting moving before the other two. Move the boss to the area that won't be hit by the waves, or dodge the waves as they move across. Echoes, a stack marker that hits multiple times. Stay stacked until the mechanic is done. This is cast immediately after Light Wave. Don't panic, there's plenty of time after the stacked AoE has finished to move out of the way of the waves. And that is it. Honestly, compared to the last couple of trials, it doesn't sound that bad. But, who knows? It could be a disaster. We shall see.
Yeah, I'm completely lost. Don't stand in stuff.
That's usually good advice. Well, that was fast.
One healer. Oh, there we go.
Looks like we have 2 bards.
Yeah.
2 pink cats.
I, the last of my kind, shall test thee. Come, prove thy worth.
Oh, the other tank is a paladin.
And 2 white mages.
At least the other cat's a black mage.
Have you the strength of will to alter man's fate? A change of arms. May the test continue. We're near or
Get in the
far.
circle. Oh, never mind.
And now this.
Get away from her.
Light unyielding.
Ah!
By blade.
I missed
Well,
that.
both the tanks missed that. We're both down. That's probably a wipe.
Light unyielding.
Just rest him and he died again.
Oh my god.
Cardinal directions.
By blade! Crystals of light, to me.
Add phase.
Go where? Oh.
Here. The song of creation's end. Feel. The sorrow at hope's demise.
I'm down when you want to get in it.
Okay.
And find your way in the darkness.
Just a moment and I will be able to use my quick.
That killed me again.
Don't take this until after the thing.
Okay.
Follow your light. Or fly, my children, and never look back.
Ow.
Then you are resolved. But this test is far from over. By crystal's light.
What's this one?
It's either AoE or stack. We'll know after Dawn's Mantle. Inside her hitbox.
Where near or far.
Shit.
Where high or low.
Those still have circles in them. They're coming back, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Away from her.
Light unyielding.
I was like, move away.
Refulgence eternal.
Oh my gosh.
Emo, pop the healer LB3. Cardinal directions move to me.
By blade.
Oh, I just stood. She was facing right at me. Never mind, I did that wrong.
I'm down.
Well, you got the whole party up before you went down, so good work.
Yeah.
Well, that killed me.
Succumb not to fear.
Radiant Halo, what does that do?
Oh, kills me again? Dodge the waves, right?
Yep. Enter hitbox.
We're near or far.
And I'm down.
Okay, be prepared to react. Away from her.
Light unyielding.
Be prepared to react. Cardinal directions.
By blade.
I'm down too. Damn it.
I'm sorry.
The other healer's down. Be prepared to react. Away from her.
Light unyielding.
Watch out for the waves.
Be prepared to react. Enter hitbox.
We're near or far.
I just died again.
Oh boy, I did too. So did the other healer.
Awesome.
I think the black mage has a heal, but or a res, but I don't think so.
It doesn't. I'm gonna stand in the wave and die.
The cross one, gets me every time, and I don't know why.
It's bigger than it feels like it should be.
Are you supposed to be kitty corner from her, or is it directional on the map?
It's directional from her. So in front of her, behind her, and to her left and right.
Okay.
So it's probably best to just stand diagonally from her until you know which one she's casting.
A change of arms. May the test continue.
This is probably going to be red to get inside of her hitbox, but I'm not sure. It is.
We're near or far. And now this.
Get away from her.
Light unyielding. By blade.
And I just stood in it again.
But still alive, still alive.
Barely. In fact, I think I got hit by it twice because I have 2 vuln stacks.
Light unyielding.
In fact, I have 3. I'm not sure where I got hit again.
By blade. Crystals of light, to me.
Add phase.
Here. The song of creation's end. Feel. The sorrow at hope's demise. Think. And find your way in the darkness.
Got me.
I'm down.
Follow your light. Or fly,
We did
my
better that
children,
time.
and never look back.
What's that big thing coming around? Oh, never mind, it's all story.
Then you are resolved. But this test is far from over. By crystal's light.
And she's about to do a thing. Away from her.
Light unyielding. Refulgence eternal.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
I got
shit.
hit so hard.
Yeah, I was full health and took all the way down on that one.
Not do a thing. Enter hitbox.
We're near or far.
Gosh.
Sorry, Emo. We were running in the exact same direction and couldn't get out of each other's circles.
It's okay.
We're high or low.
Back do a thing. Cardinal directions.
By blade.
That was bullshit.
LB3, Emo.
Wow, that puts me like healing and stuff. I didn't notice my action.
Fear.
Not do a thing. Enter hitbox.
We're near or far.
That was close.
Yeah, I keep missing the one that's coming right at me for some reason.
Light unyielding.
I totally was not in that.
Not do a thing. I bet it's going to be cardinal directions. It is.
By blade.
Figuring out where the cardinal directions are is hard, though.
Watch out for the waves. Yep, here they come.
I do the thing. Away from her.
Light unyielding.
Whew. Well done. She had a lot of health.
Yeah.
At last, man has the strength to.
No! This can't be happening!
Though my power is in constant flux, I have always kept a reserve for this very moment. It was a true test of your prowess. You have done well.
There is one thing I must ask. By sundering the world into 14 shards, the ether of all living beings too was divided. This reduction would in theory allow us to more easily interact with Dynamis. Having seen mankind brought to the very precipice of extinction, you wished for us to develop a means to overcome despair. You believed we had the potential, and sundered all creation to see it fulfilled. To deliver us to that swirling maelstrom of Dynamis in which our foe hides, and grant us the power to defeat her once and for all. Is this not true?
It is as thou sayest. 'Twas the trial to which I subjected mankind, and it hath led to untold bloodshed and suffering. There was no kindness, nor justice in the tragedy I wrought. When confronted with the almighty Zodiac, my only recourse was rend him and the world asunder, that his power be diminished for a time. And so it came to pass. Now you, my chosen, have surpassed my expectations, surpassed me. I entrust the fate of the universe unto you. This crystal contains the memory of Meteion's passage through the stars. Deliver it unto the Loporrits. They will guide you to her.
Though they may be capable of crossing great distances, there is a vast difference between traveling to the moon and the furthermost reaches of the great expanse. And unlike Meteion, we cannot simply soar on waves of dynamis to our destination.
Indeed. To make such a journey would require an astronomical amount of ether. But a solution lieth close at hand.
Of course.
Yes, my child. Ever since I became the will of the star, the ether drawn here had slowly crystallized. They who have answered my call know it well. While I have remained hidden, it hath become the embodiment of the planet's will in my place. A faceless, omnipotent force of nature. The Mother Crystal, our final hope. Alas, I can do no more. The fulfillment of this task doth fall to you, my chosen. Now, heed these words. Darkness and light, despair and hope. As goeth one, so goeth the other. Become light, become hope. I have a gift for thee. Come closer. Long have I searched for a means to safeguard the future of this star. Though I knew failure after failure, by recalling thy tales and my promise to thee, I found the strength to carry on. Though the world is ever changing, thy thirst for adventure hath never waned. Thine unshakable resolve never ceases to amaze, to inspire. As a mark of my gratitude, I bestow this final gift. Thou dost possess the Crystal of Azum, yes? As Hydaelyn, I reside over the forces of stasis, tranquility, peace. The laws which impart stability to existence itself. I will weave this self-same power into the crystal, granting thee mastery over matter, to give form to the formless. Use it wisely, for it will not last indefinitely. As thou hast seen on thy journey through the ethereal sea, souls are drawn to thee. Mayhap this trait will prove to be a boon rather than a hindrance. It is thy hopes and prayers that enable Azum's invocations and give them life. So keep them close. But pray, remember this. When the way forward is hidden, even from the mind's eye, look not to the invocation, but within yourself. These were the words of the crystal's original bearer. With that, my work is finished. Fulfill our promise. Right the wrongs committed when the world was yet whole. Silence the song of oblivion. Teach her a brighter melody. Show her our journey is far from over. Of this, I have no doubt. For yours is a light brilliant beyond measure. Long after I have gone, though not even my soul remaineth, my love will be with you forever, my dearest children.
You enter the cutscene, KJ?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad to see you well, though we could roughly place your souls. Deep as you went, we could neither see nor hear you. The fluctuations in your ether near the end gave me quite a fright. What in the world happened? You mean to say Heidelin is... No. There's no time to feel our feelings. We must carry out Heidelin's will without delay. We'll find Metion if it's the last thing we do. You wouldn't mind handing over the crystal, that is. The fancy navigatory one. To the edge of the universe, where congregates the despair of countless stars. You were determined to see this through? We are. Should words fail us, we will fight to the bitter end. I know that it pains you to accept this. Would that I need ask nothing more of you. Yet we have only two means to travel the great expanse, the moon and Charlene's Ark. I am all too aware that without both of them, there will be no exodus. But I nevertheless beg you to honor the agreement we made. Forum's decision will be honored. You have earned the right to use the ship as you see fit, and I could not rescind it even if I wanted to. As it happens, I do not, and would do all within my power to aid your cause. With that settled, might I suggest you rest for a while? Proving oneself to Hydaelyn is never easy, and despite our unparalleled genius, we'll need a day to make the necessary calculations. You may as well take advantage of it. You can chart a course through the Sea of Stars in a single day? Ye gods. So we've head above ground for some fresh air then, and perhaps a nap. I think that might be the longest single quest we've ever had. Because we did about 20 minutes on it last night, and we're 2 hours into it today.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, now I have to wonder what's going to happen to the Sundered Worlds. Since it was Hydaelyn who sundered them, are they going to unsunder now?
Hmm.
You mean the 12 or 13 or whatever it was?
Like the 6 that are left.
Right.
Aha! I've been expecting you. I heard about your foray into the ethereal sea. The students have ventured far and wide, but never quite so deep as that. Are you experiencing any after effects from your prolonged exposure? Nausea? Dizziness? Hauntings? Well, have a pleasant sleep. And if you do experience any unusual phenomenon, please let me know. I shall add it to our records.
There you are. Some time, indeed, yes. For you, at least. Believe me, I'd meant to get some proper sleep. But here we are, drifting along instead. Well, well, you too. And so we remain, to watch and wonder. Yes, indeed. To begin, we first must see the end.
That was Hithlodius's voice, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Which one was that one again?
The friend of Emmett Selk.
Okay.
Trial has urgent news. Trust you had a good rest. An envoy from Master Fortuno arrived not long ago with a message. The Loperites have determined Metion's location. We've been asked to gather at the Rostra. I'll meet you there, along with the others.
Where are we meeting him again?
The Rostra.
It's the top one. On the map, at least. Sorry.
Everyone appears to be present and accounted for. Good. As you know, the Loperites have deduced the whereabouts of Metion by means of a crystal bequeathed to us by Hydaelyn herself. Your quarry's location is a place far beyond the moon, in the farthest reaches of the Sea of Stars, at the edge of creation. A veritable Ultima Thule. Indeed. How then are we to reach it? An excellent question. Luckily for you, I have an equally excellent answer. In theory, with its advanced propulsion systems, the moon is capable of delivering you to Ultima Thule, but the myriad of other facilities housed within would greatly impede travel through the Sea of Stars. Even the Mother Crystal may not possess ether enough to bear so massive a vessel to our destination and back. However, if we integrate our Hyper Hopper into your ether burner, we should be able to fire things up and jump our way to the end of the universe in no time. Hyper Hopper. I like it.
I know.
Father, does this mean? Bear in mind, this decision was not made solely at my discretion, but with the consent of the Forum. Hearing the Loperites' proposal, the Forum was faced with a grave decision. To commit the Ark to this endeavor would mean abandoning both our plans to evacuate to the moon, and to resettle on another star. Needless to say, the proposition invited fierce debate. In the end, however, the Forum was swayed by the simple fact that Hydaelyn believed you possessed the strength needed to overcome this crisis. The Great Exodus was, after all, a plan of Hydaelyn's own making. Therefore, if in the 11th hour she would proffer another means by which we may seek salvation, we would be fools to dismiss it out of hand. Indeed, she sacrificed everything, her very existence, to avert the destruction of the star. That is why we have chosen to place our faith in Hydaelyn, in you. The Ark will be made ready for your voyage to Ultima Thule. What of all the people that have labored so tirelessly to prepare for the evacuation? They must be furious. I would not be so sure. They have not forgotten your deeds on the Magna Glacius. Nor did your instrumental role in orchestrating the delivery of adamantite go unnoticed. No, the people do not protest. Quite the contrary, they have expressed unwavering support for you and your mission. Are the Loporrits too willing to abandon their exodus? Were you not listening when we said we were born of Hydaelyn's love for Aetheris and its people? If it means your survival, we would do anything to help. And you'll most certainly have need of our expertise where you're going. There's no guarantee Ultima Thule is a place that supports life. An otherwise vexing problem our know-how can remedy. Besides, Hydaelyn chose us to lead the way to Meteion. Why else would she give you the crystal only we can decipher? But more importantly, we were perfectly content to evacuate Aetherius until you brought us here, Urianger, and now we're enamored with the place. So what choice do we have but to save it? Of course, none of this is possible without you and the Scions. So I must ask, are you certain you wish to do this? Went with option 2. Very well. We shall inform the Forum of your decision, and begin preparations to bolster the Ark with a, hyper hopper. The Loporrits will coordinate with the Islebar contingent to have necessary components transported via the Tower of Babel. Of course, it will take time until the work is complete. For now, pray take your ease. It would seem there is naught to do but rest and prepare, shall we? That reminds me. What did y'all say to Ammon at the end of the dungeon?
I'd come and find him and help him.
Yeah, the one where it says that we would
Option 3.
Yeah, is that the one where we would find find it together or something like that?
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's the one I said too.
I did the top one. But he said something like, "What does that mean?" He like, "What am I talking about?" So I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Gotcha. Can't remember exactly what he said to us. I think it was something along the lines of, like, whatever happens, Hermes ends here or something.
Yeah, something about he hated us so much, and we're willing to help him.
That we have a right to hate him or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Then a non-Anon, Ammon, whatever, stone.
Yeah. Asahi.
Yeah. Little shit.
Ere we depart, we must leave nothing undone. Quite, though it is difficult to conceive of how one can best prepare to brave a domain where Dynamis governs all. Nevertheless, Hydaelyn deemed us worthy of the trials that await. For lack of any other feasible options at this late stage, let us trust in her judgment and face Meteion as we are. Which leaves the not-so-small task of coordinating our efforts here to you and Tartaru. If all goes to plan, we'll be back before you know it. I certainly hope so. We will be praying for your safe return. Mayhap it will affect the Dynamis for the better. With that settled, we should get some rest and make the most of the time we've been afforded. The meeting's over, is it? You were in there for so long, I started to worry. What did they have to say? The edge of creation. I see. Rest assured, everything will remain in order until you return. And you will return. Actually, can I borrow you for a moment? Looks like your plans for the interim are decided. When the two of you have finished, meet us back at the Baldessian Annex, alright? Come with me to the Agora. I have something to show you. Welcome to Tartarutaru's boutique. I've always done my best to provide the Scions with fashionable attire, but in your case specifically, I make an extra effort to strive for the most functional yet stylish clothing one could ask for. Not that I'm playing favorites, but you are the Warrior of Light. Faced with the unprecedented crisis, I knew you would need an ensemble unlike anything I've created before, and that I wouldn't be able to do it alone. And so, after enlisting the aid of the world's finest artisans, I finally completed my career-defining masterpiece. And then an inspiration struck, and I saw a golden opportunity just begging to be seized. With the help of some Thavnarian refugees, I decided to set up shop here in Charlian. Of course, I would never charge you for any of our works. Perish the thought. Farsighted, how are things coming along? Everything is in order, Mistress Tartaru. We'll be ready to open shortly. Which is why I brought you here, to be our very first patron. Would you mind waiting here a moment longer? The following event cannot be skipped. You may have to wish to cancel any pending duty finder registrations. I did not expect to find you here. I imagine Nidhana would also wish to offer her regards. Alas, after delivering our dragon scales to the engineers, she remained to assist with their work on the Etherburner. This simulacrum, too, will stay in Charlian, while I observe matters in Radzat-Han. It is a rather convenient means to keep abreast of developments pertaining to the final days, or anything else. It also allows me, after a fashion, to watch over my people in this distant land. Barshan, I was hoping you'd stop by. I can't thank you enough for allowing your artisans to work with me here at the boutique. Please, it is I who should be thanking you. This establishment has restored a sense of normalcy to their lives. You have blessed them with newfound purpose, and a means by which to support themselves in these troubled times. What's more, when they at last return to Razatan, the experience and knowledge they have gained in your employ will no doubt prove a boon to the artistry and commerce of our land. In fact, I came here to see how your new employees are settling in, and to express my gratitude for granting them this opportunity. It's an opportunity for me as well, believe you me. Your artisans have taught me so much about Thavnarian craftsmanship. Their resourcefulness and ingenuity are nothing short of inspiring. I can't wait to see what kind of wonders we've come up with. I pray you every success in your endeavors, Mistress Tartaru. Before coming here, I heard word of the Forum's decision, of what will soon be attempted. It was only then that I finally understood why my father called this star the last bastion of hope. Indeed, it was the last bastion, for the flame of every other star he encountered had likely been extinguished. In the boundless dark, the light of brimming life must have been blinding in its splendor. You journey into the heavens to protect that light. May the scales of my kin serve you well. I have faith you will prevail, and restore peace and tranquility to the star. Going with option 2. And we should be honored to receive you. There is still much of Razat-Han you have yet to see. Forgive me, but I must take my leave. Fare you well, and remember the people of this star have not yet given up hope, and neither must you. Where must I go to get a meal with some flavor in this wasteland of taste? Hello, Emmeline. My, whatever are you doing here? A new boutique, you say? I had been meaning to expand my wardrobe. Yes, something with a little more flair, perhaps, befitting a man of my station. Though I have nowhere to flaunt said raiment so long as my confinement continues indefinitely. The young Lord Fortemp, insists that so long as there is work to be done, no matter how trivial, I must abide here in Charlian. Thus do I toil, through though every fiber of my being rails against it. Why, I've even suffered the company of that brute Sickard to see supplies transported in a timely fashion. Yet he was the one granted leave this morning to participate in some supposed covert operation. So I suffer instead for this otherwise welcome absence, now burdened with extra busy work, and without Honoroy here, there is no one to prepare my meals. I came here in the hopes of finding a nice cafe. Perhaps, alas, the Charlian delicacies I've sampled were lacking in every respect. Oh, I want to send him after the Archon loaf, but I'm going with option 2. The cafe over on the pier. Their cuisine didn't appear all that appetizing, but if you vouch for their cooking, then perhaps I will give it a try. Thank you for the suggestion, and ta-ta for now, old boy. Emo, Zora. Does he call you old boy as well?
Old girl.
Old girl.
Okay.
So, he says, Archon bread, it sounds, oh shit, what was the word? Intellectual type. And he says, thank you for the suggestion. With a full belly, I dare say I can endure this purgatory for a while longer. Ta-ta, old boy. I feel bad.
Well, well, is that the warrior of light in Tartaru I spy? Hello, Hancock. Hancock, what are you still doing here? You said you were returning immediately after dropping off your cargo. Yes, that was my original plan. After all, any expertise required aside from the delivery of goods is well beyond my purview. But what manner of entrepreneur would squander an opportunity to study the markets of the northern seas? Worry not, I will return straight away to Kugane once I have finished. Of course, you would find a way to turn this crisis to your advantage. She wounds me, the industrious woman running a new boutique. I'm not blind to the travails of those who fight on the front lines to deliver us from ruin. Indeed, I have every confidence they will succeed, and I would make myself, and my business, ready for their return. If you believe in them so devoutly, then why not put your money where your mouth is? Fair enough, Tartaru, fair enough. There is not more I can do to help ready the Ark and her heroes for their maiden voyage, but on your return, I shall host a grand celebration in your honor at the Bokaro Inn. Accommodations are quite costly given the reputation of said establishment, but the East Alinar Trading Company would be honored to foot the bill. Option 2. Oh, a man of tart tastes, I see. Yes, there will be lemon cakes and much, much more. The finest delicacies the world and Lord Lalarito have to offer. I love the look on Tartaru's face.
Yeah, she looks mad.
But let us speak more of this upon your return, lest I draw even more of Tartaru's ire. Until next we meet. I'm beginning to get rather concerned about this guy in armor that's constantly panting in the distance.
I know.
That's what I was just thinking. I was like, somebody needs to go check him out or heal him.
I'm just wondering if this guy in front of him is helping him or mugging him.
Right.
Ah, decided to spend your time at the markets, did you? Hello, Biggs. Hello, Wedge. Tartaru. Biggs. Wedge. I take it work on the Ark proceeds apace. Aye, it does indeed. Collaborating with the greatest minds of Charlian and Razat Han has been a rewarding experience, and that's to say nothing of what we've learned from the Loperids. The Ark is unlike anything we've ever had the pleasure to work on. Even Nero was rendered speechless on more than one occasion. I can't wait for you to see it. It's still hard enough to believe we have the means to send you off into the great expanse, though. To the farthest known reaches of, well, everything. I never thought I'd live to see such marvels, yet here I am. More often than not, you and the Scions are the catalyst that sparks the need for these great innovations. To think how much I'd have missed out on had I not been a member of the Ironworks. An awful lot of work, to be fair, and the privilege of being worked like a cart chocobo. There is that too. As busy as we've been, I wish there was more we could do for you. But no matter what happens, we have to keep believing for a brighter future. Option 1. When you head back, would you tell the engineers I'll be along shortly with refreshments? That's very kind of you, Tartaru. They'll be glad to hear it. And on that note, Wedge and I should get going. Still a few more supplies to gather before we return. Terribly sorry for the wait. Right this way, if you please. Right. I don't believe the two of you have been formally introduced. This is Varsarud of Palaka Stand. Option 2. Ah, yes. It was you who helped us at Porusa, and again when crossing the ice fields, was it not? I doubt we exchanged little more than glances then, but it is kind of you to remember me. Thanks to Mistress Tartaru, I and many of my friends have found gainful employment in this foreign land. It is only natural to feel fear in the face of calamity. In such times we must look to one another for strength and succor. I know not whether we will come to call this place home or return to Thavnair, but we are here today, and are glad to have contributed to the cause. And contribute they did by helping to make your new garments as durable as possible. We put our hearts and souls into them, and I have every confidence they'll keep you safe in the battle to come. Gods, to think how far we've come since our humble beginnings at the Waking Sands. From the rising stones to the falling snows, and even a certain insufferable someone's Ruby Bazaar. We were always fortunate to find the friends along the way. Even when you were swept away to the first, Rahatia was there to grant you sanctuary. I'll never forget the relief I felt when you all returned to us. I thought my heart would burst. Yours has been a long, long journey, and I've been privileged to watch often with bated breath as you persevered time and again. For all the joy we've shared, there's been much sorrow as well. But I've long since learned you can't have one without the other. Which is why I promised to send you off to the Sea of Stars with a smile. And you can be certain I'll be the first one to welcome you back on your return. In addition to your new ensemble, we have raiments and weaponry for every need. Please feel free to browse our stock. You may now obtain job-specific gear from Varsarud. The weapons and gear contained can be equipped at level 89, however all item stats will be subject to item level sync. Upon reaching level 90 with the corresponding job, these items will no longer be synced. Furthermore, the gear can be dyed upon completion of the role quests associated with said job. So a reason to do the role quests, which I completely forgot I had. And I have to buy things one item at a time because I don't have very much space.
Yep, another horn.
It is very, very paladin-y.
Ah, yes. Oh, I like the shield.
As do I.
Ooh.
Hmm?
I love mine.
Yours is so cute.
Ah, I have a unicorn weapon.
Yes, yes, you do. And there's a chicken man here.
I love those wings. I didn't even use them. What the heck? Jeez Louise. Oh yes, this is the cutest. I love
It has many, many bows.
it. The funny thing is coloring it just keeps it red and brightens the white. So I don't know if I'll waste a dye on it.
Dyeing mine, it seems to basically just change the color of my cape.
Mine's not too bad.
Oh, it's cute too. I like it as well. I like the little blue charmy thing you have.
Like a potion or something.
Yeah.
It's very strange looking at you guys using the first person mode because I'm so much taller than everybody else. I have to look at Zora, I have to look like I'm basically looking straight down at the ground.
That's funny.
You have to sit. Yours is cute.
So does this mean when we hit 90 with our other classes, we can come back and get more stuff?
Yes.
Nice.
I think technically you could get it now, you just can't equip it.
Yep, I've got them all,
Right.
everything that I could grab from my healer and put in, or in the my one section, or the magical one, and put it in my bags already.
Ah. We're waiting for you to put on your gear.
Huh?
We're waiting for you to put on your gear.
We're wearing our class sets. It's time for you to wear yours. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep, that's the code I looked up last night.
Nice.
That I couldn't really find screenshots of the whole set. Oh, I guess I should see what the helmet looks like. Oh, it's a crown. Most of the paladin sets have crowns for some reason. Somebody hasn't told them that crowns are not very good helmets. Go ahead, Emo.
Oh, it's just my hair covers most of mine. I didn't even notice I was wearing it. But at least it does go on me.
That's an interesting bow.
Yeah.
Let me see, please. Oh, nice.
The 580, instead of those little things on the sides there, the little tiny, I guess those look like wings, kind of. They are wings, and it's white.
Cool.
What's your book look like, Zora?
It's not very cool.
Yeah, you'll be changing that back to the butterfly flower one, right?
Yep.
Alright, let's talk to Tartaru. I realize you've still got lots to do before you depart, so I won't keep you any longer. I do hope you can find a moment for yourself, and that the others can as well. They said they were returning to the Baldessian Annex, though I doubt they stayed for long. If you decide to go looking for them, I'd suggest speaking with Kryl first. I'm sure they would have told her their plans. If I know my JRPG tropes, we might be going around and visiting a bunch of other places, or places we've been before. I'm wondering about this shiny locked box, though.
Yeah.
The box is locked.
Probably has to do with the quest for the mysterious maiden.
Yeah, probably. My chat just pointed out that this armor couldn't have given me one more health point. So I'm sitting at 66,999 health.
Nice.
You're back. I take it you received your gift from Tartaru. It was a surprise long in the making. With many, many long hours of fretting to get everything just right, I'm glad to see it realized. And with great success. If you're looking for the others, though, they've already taken their leave. Istola, Thancred, and Urianger have gone to the last stand for a bite to eat. Alize and Grahatia, meanwhile, thought their time would be better spent poring over books at the Numenor. As for Alphanode and Estinian, well, they've elected to pay a visit to the Levliura estate, though Estinian seemed somewhat reluctant to go. I'm sure they would all be glad for your company, if you've mind to seek them out. Should you be feeling peckish, I suggest heading to the last stand before Istola and the others finish eating. But above all else, it would be foolish to run headlong into battle with a fatigued mess, so do remember to get a good night's sleep.
Emo, you need to take this.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Urianje says, "Hast thou perchance had opportunity to partake of the rainbow pudding? Owing to its striking flavor and somewhat garish appearance, 'tis quite popular. Indeed, so popular that the last stand stock hath been entirely exhausted. I should hope at the very least Puddingway did sup upon this most delectable of desserts."
Nice.
Come to make our trio a quartet, have you? Please, have a seat, and we'll see about getting you a drink.
Your business with Chitaru was finished. My, what a thoughtful surprise. Whatever would we do without her?
Indeed. And she's right, you know. It hasn't been all doom and gloom.
Feels like a lifetime ago that Master Louis Soir gathered us together to form the Circle of Knowing. Since then, we have experienced much. But rather than feeling wiser, the more I learn, the more I find my knowledge lacking.
Forsooth. As a student, vainly did I believe that I held the secrets of creation in my grasp. Yet that which I had seized was but an insignificant sliver of what awaited in the wider world. Every encounter, every experience hath served to open mine eyes, enlightening and humbling me in equal measure. Even from those whom I called enemies have I learned many a valuable lesson.
What will we learn at the edge of the universe, I wonder?
Ultima Thule, where the bringer of the end makes her nest. I, for one, can't possibly imagine. But whatever awaits us there, we will survive. We must. For her. Gods, it feels like only yesterday that we went on that mission to Drybone. We've both changed much since then, have we not?
We've come far together, and if we have aught to say about it, we'll go further still. Aye, we will avert this calamity and return home. In preparation for which, we must give thought to what we hope to achieve after the proverbial dust has settled.
What with the primals and Ascians all but dealt with, I suppose we'll need to look for new hobbies. In all seriousness, though, in uniting to overcome a common foe, the disparate peoples of the world have found a way forward together. It's a truly gratifying sight to see.
Indeed. Though it was many years in the making, we have successfully set in motion the gears of fundamental change. With this, we have fulfilled our humble role as a symbol of hope. And I dare say it is time to bow out. After all, there is no shortage of hands to bear the torch in our stead.
You know, I never really considered I might live long enough to see an after. But even if my time as a scion came to an end, I don't expect that much will change. Traveling the world, going wherever the wind blows, lending a hand to those in need.
A journey for journey's sake. It doth suit thee well. I must confess, I too have yearned to see more of the world. If thou art amenable to the suggestion, I would accompany thee. Mine ability to affect an air of normalcy through artful disguise is much improved, thou must concede.
Aye, well, improvement is relative. You still look suspicious no matter what you wear.
I mean, he's
what
right.
Have you, Ishtola? Any grand plans?
Why, continue my quest for knowledge, naturally. To begin with, I wish to know the state of the reflections, to which end I must find a means to travel between worlds. 'Tis the least I must do if I am to keep my promise. Should my pursuits prove unduly arduous, I won't hesitate to call on you. And in return, I will take you to see Reen one day. I'm sure you cannot wait to see the fine young woman she has become.
Spare me.
And what of thee? What wouldst thou pursue at duty's end?
Here's yours. My apologies for the wait.
Well,
I'm
shall we make a
suspicious of
toast?
drink that took a while to arrive.
To victory.
To our comrades.
To the future of the star.
Well, maybe ours wasn't poisoned this time. And improvement is relative. He still looks suspicious no matter what he wears.
I love that.
Leaving so soon? I suppose it's for the best. If you'd rather not explore the bottom of a bottle with Oriange, I dare say the others would welcome your company as well. If you could find them, that is. In any case, as long as you make the most of your time, then that is all that matters. And yeah, Ishtola has to make it back to the first because she has to go back to the Shadow People at some point, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I did notice in the cutscene where everybody visits our inn room, when she either greets or says goodbye, she uses the thing they say. I can't remember what it is, but
Yeah.
that's a big hammer. Of course, I didn't even see that we had quest markers in 2 different directions. So, I guess we're heading to go talk to Alpha Node and Estinian. Okay, I was actually hoping that we would find Estinian standing outside because he refused to go inside. Oh, Estinian's not wearing his armor.
Interesting.
That's what he says.
Yeah, I clicked on it. Goes, what? This certainly isn't the first time you've seen me without my armor.
Oh. What brings you here? Ah, so you were worried that the Levier household might again be gripped by turmoil. All is well, I assure you. In my letters home, I had made mention of Estinian, you see. My mother wished to meet the legend in person, and so we arranged to have a spot of tea together.
Where were you in my hour of need? Fell beasts I can face, but I'm not made for idle chit-chat with lords and ladies.
Well, I for one thought you held your own. Mother was the picture of delight.
I might have been delighted myself, were we in a tavern with more agreeable drink. The thought of fleeing crossed my mind, but what then? I'd never hear the end of it, least of all from Tataru.
I'm sorry. 'Twas not my intent to cause you such distress. It's just... it was one of the things I didn't want to leave undone ere we set forth. That's not to say I think we won't be returning. Yet, given what lies ahead, I did not wish to leave for later that which I could do today. After all, tomorrow is never promised.
It's fine. Not like I had better things to do. Besides, seeing you with your mother brought back fond memories of my own. Be we rich or poor, family is family. Well, it's past time we were on our way.
Wait! Since I left home, I've made a great many mistakes. Mistakes for which I can never make amends. But through it all, you didn't give up on me. To have returned here with you at my side, it means more to me than you know. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Forgive me, but it needed to be said.
I'm the one who owes you thanks. Were it not for you, I would not be alive today, nor come to terms with Nidhogg's spirit. I am ever grateful.
Well, we needn't make it a competition. You know, this must be what Heidelin meant when she spoke about depending on one another. However treacherous the road before us, together we will prevail.
All that remains is to return to the annex and give my armor one last polish. I expect Alpha Node has maintenance to carry out on those floating things of his, too. I have located Pudding Way.
Oh!
I have come to this studium in order to study the ways of pudding. Alas, my creations don't jiggle as they should just yet, but I persevere.
Nice. Needed to know that before we left.
Mm-hmm. Graha looks done.
So does she.
I didn't notice, but he's looking like he's nodding off. He's fully asleep. I guess she is too. You try speaking with Alize, but she is fast asleep.
Oh. Knowing them, they're probably dreaming about the celestial adventures to come. Just as well. They've been running themselves ragged of late. Unlike you and the others, I'm a few steps removed from the danger and excitement. The things you all get up to never fail to impress me. But by the same token, I can't help but worry. Not only for your safety, but for your happiness. After everything you've sacrificed, you earned it 1,000 times over. From the simple pleasures of tucking into a hearty meal or collapsing into a comfortable bed, to the grand triumphs of visiting legendary lands or finding true love, you deserve all the joy in the world. There is so much that life has to offer, so much to be treasured and shared with those we hold dear. So promise me this. Come what may, you won't give up on your own happiness. When you're out there fighting tooth and nail, it's all too easy to forget. But in the end, your passions will be your greatest strength of all. Remember that.
This feels familiar. Well, 'tis good to be... wait. What am I... Gods, don't tell me I fell asleep.
Not that there's any shame in it, but you were sleeping like babies.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Not a word to anyone. Understood? Not one word.
I'm told that sleeping in proper beds of your own choosing is a much more effective way to prepare for battle.
Oh.
So, what were the two of you doing here?
I had a few books to return to the library. Thought I'd take care of it while I could.
And you?
That NPC was named Beavis, I think.
Yes. Yes, he was.
Did you say Beavis?
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Was he talking about Head?
No, I didn't. The others didn't have names.
Ah.
So maybe it was implied.
Maybe. Welcome back. Return to catch a final few winks before embarking on your mission, I presume? You'll be happy to know your chambers have been cleaned and fresh linens laid out. I pray you enjoy the sweetest dreams on this final night before the big day. That night, at the Royal Menagerie in Alamigo.
You will never get what you want. Not even the battle you pine for so dearly. In that transcendent moment, what was it that I sought in you? And what was it that you sought in me?
Not a damn thing, Xenos.
How often have we thus assembled? To combine our knowledge and seek solutions to the problems before us.
Back at the Waking Sands, it was all we could do to address the most minor of troubles. Who could have realized what we'd find when we began to look to the sources of the realm's woes?
At the Rising Stones, we made great strides and shared many moments, from the joyous to the sorrowful.
We've had occasion to call other places home too. Be it Ishgard or Kugane, we were fortunate to find sanctuary wherein we might take stock and continue our fight.
I was honored to host this company in the Crystarium, to stand with you all as we confronted the truth of the star itself.
And now from this place, we go to fight the most important battle of all.
The Forum has sent word. The Ark is ready. The Loporrits naturally will be commanding the vessel. They will see the 8 of you to Ultima Thule. Upon arriving, your objective is to find and vanquish Meteon. As a final formality, the Forum bade me ascertain your resolve. So, are you certain you wish to do this?
We are.
Then, ere you report to Thalmasane, I leave you with these words. You must triumph. What that means will differ for each of you. To make it back home, or to simply avert doom, or perhaps something else altogether. Yet whatever it is that drives you, I have faith in its power to see you through. So please, triumph. Triumph, as we who remain behind believe you will.
Let us be off then.
Wait! Both Kryl and I will be there to see you off, but as your receptionist, I feel I need to say this here. Safe journey, all of you, and be safe.
I suppose this is where we part ways. For now, at least. Would that I had sage words of wisdom to share ere you depart. Mayhap the teachings of Galuf Baldessian will suffice. Surrender not to anger or hatred, he said. Look beyond them, and there find true strength. What one sees beyond is open to interpretation, I think, but for me, it would be the things I cherish most in life. Things I believe are worth fighting for. Something to consider as you venture into the sea of stars.
I never noticed that you salute as you drive.
It's not really salute as much as it is a looking out.
Ah.
Shielding my eyes from the sun.
You're sliding.
Damn straight. It's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Kamazar up on top.
Okay, there are way too many NPCs here to click, so I'm just going to go through.
All present and accounted for? Good. As you will have heard, the Ark is ready. All that remains is to board and be on your way.
I've seen my fair share of tight schedules, but this was bloody murder. But we did it. We finished the ship. It's safe, fit for purpose, and looks good to boot. Aye, it's a Garland through and through.
I really don't know what we'd do without you. Thank you for everything.
Well, the work was hard, but we've learned a lot from it. After all, it's not every day you get tasked with building a starfaring vessel. In case you're wondering about payment, the ongoing existence of the world ought to do. But feel free to throw in a colorful recounting of your journey on your return. So, have you thought of a name?
A name? Wasn't everyone just calling it Father's teeny tiny toy boat?
Well, seeing as its purpose has changed, I thought a more eloquent name was in order. I suggested as much to Fortuneau, who seemed quite amenable to the idea.
I like teeny tiny toy boat
As
myself.
you know, this vessel is the culmination of heretofore unprecedented collaboration. And though said collaboration is owed to the Scions, there is another whose noble deeds made our work possible. From a fragment of Dalamud, we obtained not only advanced materials such as refined adamantite, but the knowledge to traverse the stars. And this fragment would not have found its way to us had the Archon Louisois not fought to protect this world. And in so doing, laid down his life. Now that the vessel stands complete, I cannot help but wonder if it was more than mere happenstance. If it was my father's intention to guide us here. In the hopes that his guidance will see you all safely home, I name the vessel after that self-same fragment of Dalamud he delivered unto us. The starship Ragnarok.
Sorry for the wait. I got everyone you asked for, and not a one less.
What are you all doing here?
Oh, I invited them. The representatives of those tribes with religious inclinations. You've done a fine job of readying the Ragnarok, but for it to take flight, we'll of course need the power of the Mother Crystal. Given its immense size, however, transporting it would be an absolute logistical nightmare, not to mention we'd need to shatter it into tiny shards for feeding to the engines. But a brilliant idea came to me. We convert the crystal's energy into forms that can transport themselves!
Okay.
Thou wouldst employ summoning, or should I say its precursor, creation magics.
Care to explain for our benefit?
As you may have witnessed at Bestway's Burrow, the Loporrits are capable of creation magics, which they use to shape the moon's environment. Yet simple though they make it seem, 'tis a highly advanced and exacting art. To perform it correctly requireth that the wielder holdeth the object in his mind's eye in clearest detail.
Hence the ancients' meticulous management of concepts.
Drawing upon this art, the Ascians conceived of summoning as we know it, a derivative that replaceth the complexity of concepts with the simplicity of zealotry to make manifest a creation.
I see. By combining the Loporrits' magics and the tribe's faith, we convert the Mother Crystal into primals of purer form and greater obedience. Summoning as it was intended, one might say.
Indeed! Indeed! While Hydaelyn gave us the ability to use creation magics, she forbade us from using it to make anything possessed of a soul, or similar. She didn't say anything about fulfilling the desires of others, though. So, borrowing our friend's faith, we'll create deities using the Mother Crystal's power and send them to the Ragnarok!
Am I the only one here concerned about the risk of being turned into a tempered minion?
Oh, right, I was getting to that. From what I've read in Sharlayan tomes, it appears the Ascians incorporated an additional nasty element into their summoning method. The fervent desire to assimilate others into one's belief. Beings thus created are instilled with the self-same desire and use their powers to enthrall people, starting with the summoner. In contrast, our creation magics, the original and the best accept no substitutes. Don't incorporate any of that rubbish, so there's no risk of tempering. I mean, if the being was on the scale of Zodiac, you might feel a little tug, but I think we'll be safe enough.
Truth be told, I do not understand the intricacies of this plan. But none of us would ever turn our backs on you. When the avatars of our faith ran amok, you intervened without decrying we who birthed them. Where others vilified and suppressed us, you offered understanding and friendship. In gratitude, we will share with you the true expressions of our gods. Not malevolent deities, but benevolent saviors.
Alright, you lot, we're heading to the ethereal sea. Stay in sight, else you're liable to get lost.
Lead the way!
May we have a moment? In anticipation of the day man might journey to the stars, we developed these.
Portable teleportation devices. One for each of you, designed to work in tandem. Press the button on one, and in a matter of moments, all 8 will activate and send their owners back to the Ragnarok. There is no telling what hazards you may encounter. If you find yourself separated or lost, please do not hesitate to use them. Be safe, all of you, and come back.
You as well. I pray you take care.
Looks like everything is in order, so I'll go ahead and board. A few of my fellows will remain to assist with the summonings, but rest assured, the vessel won't want for competent crewing.
If you are ready, then you should board as well. Go, and Godspeed.
Nero says, the world cannot end now, not when we've but scratched the surface of the Loporrit's technological know-how. So run along now, and do what it is you vaunted heroes do best. The world shall tremble before my genius soon enough, assuming you're able to prevent its destruction, that is. If you would come this way, I will direct you to the bridge. Upon boarding the Ragnarok, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Do we want to do this tonight? I mean, this could be 10 minutes of cutscenes, or it could be 30 minutes of cutscenes, so that's why I ask.
I really, really do, but I don't know if we should.
I know.
It's going to be a week before we can get to it, so...
I know, that's why.
I'm clicking the button.
Woohoo!
I want to get there because that Tull Thule or whatever it is out here, Ulta Thule, that's where a bunch of the stuff I need is. Materials. Big chairs, little tiny people. Ah. Might as well be Lalafells.
And the pilot is asleep.
Oh boy.
To the bridge, everyone! I hope you have everything, because I can't be bothered turning back. Right then, make yourselves comfortable. We're setting off in just a moment.
It's incredible.
This is Fortuno. Can you hear me? The preparations for the summonings are complete. In accordance with the 14th phase of the plan, we have moved the Ragnarok to the launch site. The gates are open. You may depart when ready.
So, are we ready?
As ready as we'll ever be. Let's get going.
Oh, come on. The burnt-out star's got more fire in its belly. Try it again, with feeling.
Engage!
Engage!
Had to use enough feeling to wake sleeping way up.
having such a Trekkie moment.
Well, I was just thinking that it doesn't seem to have nearly enough velocity to escape the atmosphere, but maybe that's about to change.
I haven't got that part. They're just engaging. That's what Picard always says, engage.
Gotcha.
That I must carry landwalkers into the sky! I cannot imagine a greater indignity!
Do not sulk so, for thy mighty winds exist not only to buffet and batter. Nay, they may serve also to thrust forth with vigor. Such is thy glory, and thus it is an occasion to rejoice. So come, let us revel!
So long as the wind blows freely, I suppose all is as it should be in creation. I will render unto them a storm, that they may pierce the firmament and fly free!
Still in one piece? Good. Sleeping way? Report?
All's well. Fantastic, even. Thanks to the power of those primals, the engines are roaring and we're ripping along.
All values are also within projected ranges. Time to destination is 8 carats. Perhaps 7 at a pinch. All right.
Carrots are not a measurement of time, Mapping Way.
Our destination, as you know, is Ultima Thule. Lest you wonder, the place is not a star so much as a patch of emptiness. That's the extent of what our equipment could determine, anyway. From what we know of Meteon, she's likely used dynamis to obfuscate her location.
So, in conclusion, we'll only know what's there when we get there.
The crew and I will see to it the ship's ready to take off at a moment's notice. We'll support the search as best we can, but it'll be your paws on the ground, assuming there is any. But everything will be fine, I'm sure. Heidelin believes in you, so you ought to believe in yourselves. Just don't do anything I wouldn't, like waiting too long to use those portable teleporters of yours. Personally, at the slightest sign of trouble, I'd mash the button to bits, and you should as well.
Understood. We promise to be careful.
I suggest you brace yourselves. We're about to arrive and the vessel will shake a good bit. What is this? Something is interfering with the equipment. Greetings.
Hello, Meteon.
Greetings. Can you hear me?
So this is Meteon.
Oh. Have you met one of my sisters? I don't remember meeting you myself. But I do know that you're from Atheris. Why have you come? All you had to do was wait. I would have delivered to you your ends.
We didn't ask for that.
I don't understand. All life is destined to end. Why choose to prolong your suffering? Effort, ambition, love, they amount to naught. Happiness, should you find it, is inevitably lost. Stolen away by events beyond your control. There is no logic nor meaning in it. You think there is. Convince yourselves. But it's all a cruel accident. Come now. I speak the truth. A truth you would recognize if you looked up at the night sky. Unbroken emptiness. Cold, dark, and silent. Your world, like every other, is but a blemish upon its perfect fabric. Life is an anomaly. It is unnatural and cannot continue. The sooner you accept this, the easier it will be.
Just to be clear, we're not here to argue with you. We know that life is fleeting, and that in the short time we have it, we're not assured happiness.
Indeed. I've seen far more sorrow in the eyes of many I've met. I myself have plenty of regrets. And one day they'll die with me. Gone to dust with my good deeds and unfulfilled dreams.
But we accept this. That our existence may seem pointless. That sorrow, rage, and despair will always dog our heels. And we press on regardless. That is why Hydaelyn guided us here. In her boundless love for mankind, she has prepared us for this trial, and in her name, we have come for you.
Yes, I sense it. A burning passion like unto fury. I know it well. For the same passion once burned in many a star before yours. Suffocated and extinguished now.
I can't breathe.
You approach the bounds of my ultimatum, where emotions dictate reality, where resignation and acceptance unite to embrace the end, where those who yet valiantly cling to life cannot thrive.
By the Fury. Thancred?
Meteon has gone as well. Mayhap he awakened first and gave chase.
Everyone? It appears we are at our destination. This is Ultima Thule.
Not that we knew what to expect, but I wasn't expecting this. From atmospheric composition to ambient temperatures, all reading to within permissible range. This place is capable of supporting life.
If that's the case, then Thancred may well have gone on ahead. Let's go and have a look. Meanwhile, I want the rest of you to perform a full inspection of the ship, as well as a biological scan.
So it was that the brave wayfarers arrived at last at Dream's End. In following their path walked and history written, I am made keenly aware of one truth. Though the curtains may fall again and again, so long as others take the stage, ever shall there be more tales to tell. So, let them bring it to a close, I say. Let the curtains fall upon this, the final chapter in the tale of the star.
Is this a dead star?
As I live and breathe. I live and breathe! Well, the environment itself shouldn't kill us.
Well then, let us search for Thancred while exploring the area. The ship we leave in your care.
Well, I would admit, this is not what I expected this place to look like.
Nope. Yeah.
And there are aether currents here. I can't guarantee it'll be of help in these strange surrounds, but I've readied a provisions node in case of emergency. Of course, if you encounter any real danger here, I expect you to return to the Ragnarok at once. Alright, I'm going to not pick up the next quest, but I'm going to see if we can go and pick up an Aetherite. We might not be able to yet, but if we can't, it looks like we can come here straight from Labyrinthos.
I can't imagine the cost.
Will do.
Oh, they look weird.
They look very dragon-y.
Hmm.
Could this be the world that Midgard's armor came from?
I was just wondering that.
Maybe.
Like the first.
Yay, successful.
New Gridania, 1300, 14, 12 something to, yeah.
1800 to go to the moon.
2,000 to the Ruby Sea.
2,000 to the Ruby Sea. But 300 to go back to the house.
Or free to teleport back to your portal, your home spot.
Also true. Alright, just a second. I'll wind down the stream. Alright, guys. I believe that is where we will be calling it for tonight. And next week, we shall pick up our exploration. Next week, we will pick up our exploration of Ultima Thule. And howdy, Sunder. Thank you for speaking. And I'm going to call it a night here. I will be back tomorrow with more Final Fantasy VII Remake. Until then, I want to thank y'all for joining me. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time. And have a good night.